Hello and welcome to your infinite loop tutorial. So we're going to learn today about how to create infinite loops that work for you instead of crash your computer. Don't try this at home. Just kidding, you're going to be doing this at home. But be careful because infinite loops are known to block up your browser and all that stuff, because what you're essentially doing is telling your computer to do something infinitely until you tell it to stop. And that can be very dangerous. So why would we want to learn about these? It's because most video games run off of a simple premise. They have an infinite loop that runs, that controls all of the animations, the music, the background stuff, until the user interacts with it. And when the user interacts with it, it edits itself and continues to run and present itself to the user. Now, of course, we're not going to make a video game here that's got a lot more moving parts than we're capable of, but we can still accomplish the basic theory. So without further ado, let's get into it. There are three types of infinite loops. You can use it using for loops, you can do it using while loops, and you can do it using function loops. The first two you probably have some knowledge of with for loops and while loops. Function loops are when you tell a function within itself to run itself. So if you have a function called hello world, and inside that function you tell it to run hello world, it'll keep doing this over and over and over again. We're actually going to stick to a fairly simple one, though. We're going to stick to for loops. So let's start by writing a very basic for loop. We'll say for, using the syntax we know, for variable I equals 0, semicolon. We're going to start at 0. We'll run until as long as I is less than 10. And then every time we go through the loop, we'll increase I by 1. Right, we need open and close curly braces. Okay, so this loop, if we print the value of I, we should get a list of numbers from 0 to probably about 9. So let's go ahead and run this. If you're doing this in Codecademy Labs, you'll just see it on the right-hand side. I'm doing it in Sublime Text, though, because it's a little bit easier to take care of for you and to follow along. So if we run untitled HTML, if we run this program, hello, if we run this program, hello, wow, my computer's slow. Okay, it's slower than students on Monday morning. Haha. Okay, so if we run this and we inspect the console, there's our list right there, 0 to 9. Very cool. Alright, so what if we wanted to make this run infinitely? Can you think of a condition that would make this forever run? 3, 2, 1. Okay, spoiler alert, it's as long as I is greater than or equal to 0, as long as it's positive. Because we're starting at 0, and we're continually counting up, and it should run forever. Now, we don't want it to run forever, we do want it to stop eventually. So what we're going to do is we're going to check to see, inside our loop, we're going to check to see if I is equal to 10, and if it is, we're going to use the command break, which will break a for loop in JavaScript. Very useful. Okay, so let's save it. We should get the same thing, except we should get the number 10 now. Sure enough, there it is. Okay. All right, very good. So this is the basics of a for loop in 4 lines and an infinite loop. If you got rid of this part right here, this would go on forever. Sure enough, we do want it to go on forever until the user stops playing, if this was a game, for example. So why don't we ask the user if they'd like to keep playing? Let's make a new variable called keep playing and set it equal to the result of a confirm statement. Would you like to keep playing? Let's ask the user if they want to keep playing. And then in our if statement, let's check to see if keep playing is equal to false. Okay, because if they click OK, it's going to be true, and if they click no, I don't want to keep playing, it's going to be false, and at that point we should break. All right, let's run it and see what happens. OK, 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 cancel. There we go. So that's the basics of a game. We're asking the user if they want to keep playing, but we're not actually doing anything in this game, unfortunately. It's actually kind of boring, isn't it? Let's make it ask the user a series of basic multiplication problems, and that can be our simple game. So we'll create a new variable, we'll call it the first number, and let's set it equal to a random number. Let's generate a random number between 1 and 10, so we'll do math.random times 10, And we'll add 1 to it so it's not 0. Great. And let's make the second number the same thing. We'll add 1 to that one too. Alright, so we have a first number, we have a second number, and we probably want to round these numbers. So let's go ahead and add a floor function. Let's round them down. Okay, we don't want the user to be having to do decimal multiplication in their head. That's pretty intense. So let's not make them. Let's round these numbers down with math.floor. And there we go. That should give us some nice round numbers for us to work with. All right, well, we still have to ask the user if they want to, answer the question. So we should say the correct answer, or the user answer, is going to be equal to, we'll prompt them for it, and say, what is first number, and we're going to say times second number. Let's add a question mark. Okay, so this is going to prompt the user for some input, asking them what is, this multiplication problem. Okay, let's go ahead and see if that works. What's 10 times 7? It's 70. Sure, let's get another one. What's 4 times 10? I think that's 40. Sure, let's get another one. Oh, that's 48. Ooh, I messed up. Okay, that's 20. All right, let's stop playing. Great. So far we're able to ask the user an infinite number of math problems so long as they want to keep answering them. That's great. I think what we should probably do, though, is if it's going to be a game, we probably want to be able to keep score for the user, don't we? So let's, outside of our for loop at the top here, let's make a new variable called user score and set it equal to 0 to begin with. Okay. All right. Now we probably want to make another if statement here, because what we're looking to do is we're looking to check to see if the user got it right. All right. Unfortunately, though, we only have the user's answer. We don't have the correct answer. So the correct answer could be first number times second number. And in a new if statement, we could potentially check if user answer is equal to correct answer. So I think if it is equal to the correct answer, we probably don't want to tell them every time. It's simple math, like, hey, what's 2 times 2? 4. Great job. What's 3 times 6? 18. Great job. That's like annoying. So let's just silently log the score, and then we'll tell them when they're done playing what it is. So we'll set user score, oops, that's user answer. We'll set user score equal to user score plus 1. We'll add 1 point every time. And then finally, when they're done playing, let's tell them, let's alert them what their score is. Your score is plus user score. Let's add an exclamation point in there. Why not? All right, let's see if it works. 40. 24. 4. So if I hit cancel, this should be 3, shouldn't it? Oop, 0. Wow, didn't work. Something went wrong. Right, let's do some debugging here. Let's log first number and second number and see what went wrong. Let's see what happened. 4 times 10. Oh, actually, that's not going to work. Let's not log first number times second number. Let's log user answer and correct answer. What happened? Whoops, deleted a parentheses. Okay, 2 times 3, that's 6. Okay, so 6 and 6. Oh, I see what happened. See, these are different colors. It means one of them is a string, and one of them is a number. That's because the prompt, whenever you ask for a prompt from a user, it always returns a string. So to turn it into a number, you could do a number of things. I like to use the times 1 trick. Multiply it by 1. That usually turns it into a number. Let's try one last time. 3 times 7, 21. 9 times 7, 63. 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, I should have scored 3. Let's see. Yay! That's great. Right, so that's a pretty basic way to incorporate a simple math game. You could add on to this by telling the user what they did wrong. There's a number of ways that you could improve upon this game here, but this is the real basics of how to make a game that is always running until the user doesn't want it to. And that's your tutorial to go infinite loops. Hope you enjoyed watching and have a great day.